What's up, ladies and gentlemen? Back with another episode of Gotta Keep It Real Podcast. Episode 3, baby. Woo! It feels nice to be back in here. I know I've been away for about a month or so. Things have gotten a little crazy on my schedule with school and everything, so that's my fault. But I'm going to start getting back on this on a regular basis, weekly, like I was supposed to be doing. My bad. But today I'm going to start you guys off with a definition of AAU. The Amateur Athletic Union, better known as AAU, was founded in 1888. Since this time, they've been the best organization for amateur sports. AAU is one of the largest non-profit organizations out there. They hold multi-event sports, but today we're going to focus on the basketball side of things, as we'll be talking about my thoughts on AAU basketball. So, as you guys may or may not know, which you probably don't, I am a travel basketball player or an AAU player. I play in the AAU circuits. And it's definitely helped me through my time as a basketball player. It's been very beneficial, especially because I decided to put hard work into my craft and all that. So I became the player I am because of it all. So AAU has definitely been helpful to me. So I guess those are my opening thoughts on AAU. But now I want to tell you guys about my pros on AAU and what's good about it. So first I want to say that AAU gives you the exposure. So what I mean by that is, as you start to grow your name and your brand, you get more exposure from these showcases or these separate events, these little individual events that you go to. So people are always watching, and you can even go in there and get a mixtape recorded. They'll go ahead and record you one. You'll end up on YouTube with 3,000 views on Coast to Coast Prep or something. So they'll definitely give you a lot of exposure for other people to see you, and that can definitely help you when it comes to college and moving up, because as you move up, people tend to look more and more at those highlights and see, oh shoot, this dude is nice, so we need to start scouting him. So it'll definitely help you in those point in times. With the exposure, another thing with the exposure is the colleges will look at you more, and it can help you get a free education from just that. My second pro, if you start at an earlier age, you have a lot of time to improve and get better. What I mean by that is, well, not even if you start young. There's a lot of games in the AAU season. In travel basketball season, there's a lot of games. If you're willing to put hard work in, I promise you, from that first game to the last, you can end up being a completely different player. And especially depending on what type of coach you have, which I'm going to get into a little later about the coaches. Depending on what type of coach you have and your hard work and your work ethic, you can definitely have a lot of time to change from one player to another very quick. You'll end up very good. Very, very good. That's what happened to me. I used to play on one of these local teams, right? Little sidetrack, side story type thing. But I used to play on a local team. And let me tell you, I sucked. My friend got me on it because he used to play for this local team. So he was like, bro, you're big, you're tall. Well, at that point, it was 6'4". Let me not cap. I was tall though. I was tall for my age because this was about 5th grade. So I was maybe 5'7", 5'8", 5'9", something like that. He's like, you should come on down with me to this one place where we hoop. I was like, dang, all right. So I showed up and I sucked. I was trash, but for some reason I just loved the game so much. So I went home and I went to the gym. The Y. I used to just put in work. And as I kept going to my friend's little team, I got better and better. So then the next year, I still was pretty bad. All I did was rebound and block shots, you know. But another AAU team saw me because we went to one of their little tournaments. Of course, we didn't do well, but they saw me and they were like, dang. So they got in communication with me. So then I went over to their team. And let me just tell you how much better I got. I started dribbling, shooting. It opens everything up to you because it shows you how much better you need to be in different leagues. And with the drive, if you have enough drive and enough work ethic, let me promise you, you'll get up there with AAU. I know that doesn't seem like too many pros because I'm about to go into my cons, but those are pretty nice pros. Those are very heavily weighted pros because those are really good. So now I'm about to go into my cons. Let me tell you right now, these aren't the world talented coaches, and they may stunt your growth. I've been in a situation like this too. Not as it might seem when I went to that new AAU team, travel team. Like I told you, I was bad. I sucked. And I'll even tell you this. I may have only started because of my height. Because they didn't have a big man at the time. They were playing with 5 players. So I may have only started because I was a tall dude, right? So that might be the only reason that I played at that point in time. So that really helped me improve. But once there became other players that came to this team, because we had went to nationals that year, so more players that came to our team. As that started to happen, and as I was still that sort of one-sided player, coach used to sit me a whole lot, and that makes sense and all. But he wouldn't. He would do more than that. He would restrict me from doing things that I do. Because I was learning how to dribble, learning how to shoot. I was learning how to do it all. But he would restrict me from shooting, restrict me from dribbling, restrict me from scoring the ball like I wanted to. And stick me in the role that I came to the team as, to just block shots and get rebounds. So maybe, and that takes a hard tax on your confidence. So that really stopped me for a while. And I could even tell you, it's still affecting me a little because it really knocks on your confidence when your coach does that to you. So yeah, as I'm recovering, I'm coming back pretty nice. These aren't the world best coach, so they could definitely end up ruining you later on. Second con: most coaches rather win than improve their players on their team. This kind of goes on to the first one, but most players rather have that one-star player that's going to go out there and give them 40 than have a nice, well-rounded team of everybody who's going to have 12 and play solid defense. They'd rather have a team where one dude is scoring and everyone else is watching and not doing anything else. But let me tell you, on that team with the one star, when that star stops hitting shots and he gets tired, no one else is going to be able to score. So you're going to end up losing at some point. Because in these long tournaments, when you end up playing 5, 6, 7 games, nobody is going to be able to last for that long taking all those shots. But on that team that has 12 good players who's going to go out there and score you nice 12 points and play really good defense for you, those collective talking teams, the ones that you can hear halfway across the gym, putting it, like, really doing everything as a collective team, those are the teams that'll win tournaments because they're so collectively good that they'll take you down. But what I'm saying is coaches much rather have the instant win because getting that one superstar, okay, that's pretty easy. And that'll help them win. You'll get to about the semifinals. But you'll get it instantly while trying to find a nice group of guys to work together with the chemistry and all that and improve every player on their team to be good. Most coaches don't want to wait that long because that'll take a year or two. Most coaches want it that first year. They go out there and they want to win. They want to at least get to semifinals or something like that. They want to look good. Yeah, which makes sense. But in the long term, it's better to have a group of guys that can play collectively better than just one player that does it all. Because the other players on the team are just going to know, all they're going to know how to do is watch. They're not going to know how to play themselves. And that's not good for a team. You want everyone on your team to know the game and to play it right. This third con is for all the kids. This unlocks a new side of parents. Let me tell you, parents go wild at travel basketball games and all that. Even other sports, any type of travel, any type of sport where your kid is playing against another one, parents tend to go wild. Because there was a time on the news where all you saw was parents fighting other parents because team lost. But the parents aren't even playing. So it gets pretty hostile in those gyms when you have parents screaming at each other and screaming at the scoreboard, getting in fights. And it's not even the kids. The kids will be cool with each other on the court. They'll be like, yo, what's up, bro? While the parents up there, hey, no, don't you talk about my son. And, so it's just like, it gets real hostile in there. My con number 4, you aren't always playing the right way. So when you get into college and these higher grades of basketball, you won't know how to play right. What I mean by that is a lot of teams with the one superstar and all, they end up playing a lot of iso ball, which that's pretty much where one dude isolates with the ball. He has it the whole time, and he's just taking his man one-on-one to the basket. But let me tell you, when you get to the higher places like high school, even just high school and college, they don't play like that. You end up with a set. So you end up with like pick and roll, pass and cut. 1 in 4 out, 2 in 3 out. You end up having to run a set, and if you're just that one star player on a team, and you're always running iso ball, it's gonna be difficult to come into college and play with other guys who are also just as good as you, just as athletic, can do everything you can do. But when you're just known to hog the ball and have it all the time in your hands, and you come into college and you don't have that, it's going to be pretty difficult to transfer your playing over. So, yeah. And con number 5, which is my last one, defense is not highlighted in AAU basketball. I can tell you this firsthand, because defense is my thing. It's my bread and butter. I love defense so much, so nearly. And if all I had to do was play defense, I'd be number 1. I'd be very good. I'd be scouted all the time. But people don't look at defense like they should. They take defense for granted. Most people are okay with having the one player that's that's cherry picking, just down the court, ready to get the ball and score, rather than having someone who could play defense, and they don't even worry about the people that do play defense for them. They take those people for granted. And like I told you guys, when I was just a shot blocker and the rebounder, getting those boards, and I was the one passing it down to the person cherry picking, it sucks because people don't look at you like you're a valuable part of the team. They look at you like you're just a regular Joe, while the dude that has 20 because of he was cherry picking and just running down the court and you were throwing it to him, he's noted as the best player because he had the most points. People don't care. Most people in AAU basketball don't care whether you can play defense or not. It's very little that you'll find an AAU team that talks about nothing but defense. And I'll be honest with you, I went to a tryout the other day. Or not a tryout. I went to a workout with another team the other day. Man, let me tell you, all they did was ran defensive drills, and I love that workout. And I don't even like the team that much, but I love that workout because it was what I wanted to work on, that defense. Of course, I love I love offense. I love being able to score the ball, but defense is just defense wins championships, baby. So it's just not highlighted enough. So those are my pros and cons. So now I'm gonna give you guys my conclusion. I think AAU basketball is good for the stars, and it's not as good for the improving players. It's good if you can go out there and score 20. Oh, you're gonna love AAU. You go out there and score 20, come down and play defense. If you can do it all, they're gonna love you. But those first 2-3 years, if you're bad, but you want to work hard, go for it. If you're doing it for fun, AAU might not be the place for you. Because coaches don't care whether you get better or not. They don't. They want to win. You won't even be looked at if you're not going to get better. So, I guess that's what I have to say about AAU basketball today. Like I said, I got to get back on this podcast stuff because, I love this stuff. I love talking to you guys and everything. It's my fault. I've been off of my podcasting lately. I've had a lot of school to deal with, a lot of homework, a lot of basketball. So, I'm going to get back on this. It was great talking to you guys again today. I'm going to head out. Like, subscribe, comment, whatever. Give me some more ideas for podcasts. I'll give you my opinions on it and all that. I'll see you guys later. I'm checking out. Bye.